Hi, everyone. This is EstaRa with a brief message for you this evening. It is interesting times right now. I want to let you know it is February 7th, 2017. It is 6:30. I am really tired. I had a very long day the last couple of days, and something I was doing actually ended up being much shorter than I thought it would be. And now I have a little time to record a video for you. I've been wanting to do it for a few days, and it just hasn't happened. And forgive me if I look really tired because I'm looking at a picture of my face and I'm like, wow, I look tired. So after I finish this, I'm going to eat my dinner and probably go to bed really early. So I bring you this message about, oh, my camera is doing weird things. Bring you this message about the full moon. So yesterday I felt this energy come in, kind of like this hovering over and then coming down upon us. It didn't feel very good. I didn't like the energy of it all. It made me kind of in a fog, if you will, but it wasn't a bad thing. It was just kind of a foggy, weird thing. And I need a laptop stand. I'm hoping somebody will get that to me soon. My dad was supposed to order me one. Please, Dad. So it's interesting times. Like, we're really going through major changes. So with the full moon coming in, and I could feel the energy moving in, we also have an eclipse coming. So here's the interesting thing about eclipses. We have like sandwich them. If you are not on my Facebook, please, by all means, check out in the links below my Facebook fan page, because on that page for Soul Star Healing, you'll have like little energy updates whenever I feel guided to throw them out there. I usually put a message of the day. And today I put a quick energy update. And the message basically was, we're in for a tumultuous ride. And as I typed it, I was like, what? And then I heard very clearly from my guides, well, tumultuous doesn't necessarily mean bad. It just means intense, So we're in for an intense next few weeks. So be prepared for intensity. I don't know what it means for everybody individually. Hopefully it's all good. I am going to do a reading for you in just a moment for the twins, but being prompted to just tell you that it's really important to stay in frequency, raise vibration as high as you can. And I want to apologize to all of you who signed up for my webinar for manifestation last week. I had a lot of technical difficulties. I'm still working on getting those resolved and handled for the future. And once they do, I promise to reschedule and do it, because I feel like the dark was interfering with me. And I don't think they want me to get the information out, because here's what's really cool is the information is really powerful, especially if you can do some of the stuff that I'm teaching in that class. The tools are to really help you manifest in 5-dimensional reality, because that's really where we need to live. And for a lot of us, we're in and out of dimensions, but many of us are beginning to stay in that dimension. And that's really where it's at, not what's happening in your 3D world. So if you look around the world around you, it's in chaos and craziness. But as you raise your frequency and vibration, you're out of that dimension more and more, and you're going into the higher realms. And a lot of times as I'm teaching and talking to people, I'm in 5D, but I'm also in 6, 7, 8D. All the time I'm changing wherever I need to be. It guides me wherever I need to go. So I feel like that was major interference from the dark. Why am I telling you all that? Well, one, to apologize for the canceling of the seminar, but two, because the dark is active, and the closer you're getting to union, the more active the dark entities and energies will be. Now, do they come in and screw up your life just because they can? No, it's because there's still things that they can latch on within your field, within you, to bring up fear, and to bring up doubt, and to bring up insecurity. And so one of the big things that's been happening is they really are interweaving energy to amplify your doubts. So if you're experiencing doubt, you're not alone. Many people are. But I caution you to recognize it. I caution you to just be like, oh my God, I'm doubting again. And then allow yourself going into the cycle of, oh my God, it's not going to happen. It will happen, whatever. I'd rather you just say, okay, what's going on? Who have I been around? Where have I been? Who's interfering with my energy field? Who is it that I talked to last? What did I do last moment? How was I feeling? Am I feeling sick? Am I feeling tired? And you could hear I'm a little nasally. I'm still having like effects from that not feeling good. Hence why I'm probably really tired from a very busy day. It's really imperative that you pay attention to what is influencing you and affecting you. So a great example is when you're under the weather and you're feeling sick, your boundaries aren't as strong. So things can creep in a little more. if you're not clearing some of the crap that's surfacing for you, you're not done with it, or you're kind of distracting. A lot of people distract by, I don't know, keep being out all the time, never being home, never being quiet, calling somebody all the time, being on the phone, or doing all these things and not just being inward. That's distraction. And that's a great way for the entities and energies to experience some of your drama. Because when you're distracting, that piece that wants to be known, that energy that wants to be known that it's there. So, for example, if you're struggling with doubt, we'll use that. And you're like, well, I'll just distract so I don't have to think about doubt. Well, that doubt is still there. And they are like, it's like a honing device, and they come right in and grab it. And they're like, ooh, I can feel doubt here. Let's amplify it so it feeds me a little more. I know I'm exaggerating a little bit and it sounds crazy, but that's exactly what happens. And that's just like the simplistic way of describing it, I suppose. So the energies that are moving on right now in the last, I would say 5 days for me, particularly the dark has been pretty active, but they have no power over me when it comes to me and my twin. And I tell you that because it's been a very long time until I got to this point. It was never just overnight and easy. And there's times that I was really strong and I didn't have a problem, but I've been sick, and really they could totally wreak havoc with me when I'm sick, but not when it comes to my twin. Not anymore. I'm not allowing that in. Although I can tell you, they've been working hard at it. And so how they've been wreaking a little havoc in my life is electronics, hence the webinar. So with all of that being said, we're moving into a full moon, and we're going to start to see a lot of potentials. So as I said earlier, my guides had given me the message that this new energy is going to be tumultuous. Actually, let me see if I could find the words so I could read them to you, because I thought they were pretty cool. Let me see. Of course, it's not in front of me, and I'm pretty bad at that. I want to just read the one little thing that I said, but please check it out on my Facebook. Tumultuous, life-altering energy. That's what they called it. And then they said tumultuous, life-altering energy doesn't always signify things will be bad, but what it does signify is the intensity of it all. So intense times are ahead. Be prepared. So for the next month, so we have an eclipse sandwich, is what I call it. At the big top of the sandwich, you're putting bread at the bottom. You have stuff in between, and then bread on top, so it looks kind of neat on the outside, but underneath it's kind of like a mess, and you don't really know what it looks like until you lift it up and you look inside, and often you don't, you just eat it, right? So that's kind of like what the eclipse energy is like. What a bad way to describe it. It makes you not want to have a sandwich, and you never know what's in it. So if you're in the sandwich, you're in it, so you don't really know what's going on. It looks like kind of a mess, and you might feel the emotions getting kicked up and all kinds of things being scattered. Please understand that that is purposeful and that is necessary. However, the higher frequency you are, and the more you work on raising your vibration, the less you will be affected by this drama and by all this stuff like, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this isn't going to happen. All of that stuff outside of you is in your control. You know why? Because if you're in high frequency and higher vibration, you don't have to buy into any of that drama. And one of the best things that, I've ever done for me is to recognize where there's drama. I don't always, and I didn't always. I do now a little bit more. And I start to come to a better place with it because I'm in a higher perspective. So I look down and say, yep, don't want that. So I don't go there. And it's a choice. It's always a choice. And the thing is, you're always making choices every day. And I want to bring myself more in alignment with my union, more in alignment with my twin. So by doing that, I'm choosing every moment of every day to be where I need to be. So hopefully that helps you with a little tidbit of information, what's coming in this full moon. But be prepared, because some of us are going to be, go ride this a little more gently than some others. Some of us will be in shock because it's overwhelming and a lot of stuff happening. And others of us will be definitely in the deep trenches of it, kicking up things that need to be cleared and get straightened out. It has to happen. These things need to go out of our lives for good. And the only way we're going to do it is if it's shown to us in some way. And then we'll come out at the other end in a safer space. So let's check and see what we got for cards. So I pulled cards for all of us, for twins, divine masculine, divine feminine. And again, I'm always going to preface, I don't always remember to do this, but I'll preface it right now. The divine masculine represents the twin in the couple that expresses itself more as a masculine energy. Doesn't mean they look masculine, doesn't mean they act masculine, doesn't mean they are they're male. It just simply means that their ways of relating are more masculine ways, meaning more masculine attributes, so more actually, I think of the masculine, everything's more black and white, it's either this or that. Whereas the divine feminine, I think of more of a gathering. Okay. More of a like, well, let's look at all options. So whoever represents the divine masculine in your relationship, that's what the divine masculine card would refer to. And the divine feminine would refer to whoever represents the divine feminine. Hopefully that makes sense. I know I ramble. My guys are laughing at me because they know I ramble, and they like it because some of them ramble to me. And it's funny because some of them ramble so much in my head. I'm like, okay, too much information. Slow down. And then they laugh again. Because then I'm like, okay, not enough information. Go faster. They never win. Neither can I. So let's look at the divine feminine. Card for the divine feminine is Guide of Hearts. I actually absolutely adore this card for a lot of reasons. And I have like such an emotion with it, and kind of dark in my house. So I'm looking to see. Okay. It is the fairy godmother, the Good Witch. I'm sorry, the Good Witch from The Wizard of Oz. And what's really cool about her, and I never noticed this before about this card, if you can see her, you see her? I hope you can. She's really beautiful. And if you could see up in this corner right here, those are flowers. They're roses. And when I looked at the card, I'm like, oh, the Good Witch. That's beautiful. She brings wishes come true. She helps you, guides you, and navigates you. But I saw the roses. And to me, that's what jumps out of this card. And to me, that's like she's bringing love to us. But what that really means, I actually equate like the Good Witch to being, I don't know, kind of the one that is our guides. They're helping us, and they're reminding us that all is in divine and perfect order. And when I say that, that means we're in alignment with each other. We're aligning to our soul's journey, our soul's path. And the more we're in alignment with our soul, the more we're in alignment with union. So when I look at this card, I feel positive, the Guide of Hearts. It feels like we are being guided to be in our heart. Isn't that what I teach every time I speak? I kind of ramble all the time about be in love, raise your vibration, raise your frequency. When you raise your vibration and raise your frequency, you're in your heart, you're in love. And it's not like, oh, I'm madly in love. It's like, I'm in love. I live love. I be love. I am love. And I just said words that don't even make English sense, but forgive me. And I'm kind of in and out of dimensions right now, so my words might come out in a different language. Just be prepared. So to me, this card symbolizes the divine feminine actually getting out of her head and really remembering to go into her heart, but more presently, being more aware of it, more consciously choosing her heart. So what I mean by that is the divine feminine energy has been, she's more of the loving, the unconditional love person, and she's been more kind and caring, but she has been also getting in a little bit more fear lately, is the words my guides are giving me, hence the doubting for all of you that are doubting. And I know there's some of you out there. I know there's more than some of you out there, because if I get a little inkling of it for myself, I think, uh-oh, that means a bunch of us are, our whole soul group. So the divine feminine, with her doubting, she doesn't stay here. She usually goes right back up here into her head, thinking about, oh my gosh, well, what if? I mean, this means that, I haven't heard from him. I haven't talked to him. So that must mean he's not coming. She's not coming. Our divine masculine's not going to show up. That's head, right? Because your head feeds the story. Because if you think of ego, how ego does it, ego fills in the gaps. So you might have a message and then you don't have the whole detail. So ego will try to fill in the gaps. Well, we don't want to do that anymore. We want to go here and get our messages here. And so to me, this card means we're being really guided to stay in our heart, to go forward in our truth, and to be in love. Now, this is amazing. I love it. So the masculine card is Guardian of Hearts. So we have the Guide of Hearts, right? So they're guiding us to stay in our heart. We have the guardian of hearts. Do you see that? That is a mermaid blowing a horn into the two twins, into the fish. So what does that mean for the divine masculine? To me, when I look at this card, let me look a little closer for a second. She's got a cup filled with a rainbow, and she has a winged heart around her neck, and she's blowing a horn. I feel this is a massive wake-up call to the twins, to the divine masculine twin. Why do I think it's a massive wake-up call coming? And this full moon, this eclipse season, it is they're yelling, they're like telling me, it's like a scream into them to go into your heart. And it's like an awakening. So the fact that it's a guardian of hearts, it's like their heart is going to scream back at them. This is what I want. This is what I want. I don't want this. I don't want that. It's got to go. The past has to go. What I'm doing doesn't make sense. So their heart is going to start screaming louder and louder. They have such a wake-up call. So it's funny, the visual I'm getting and the message I'm getting from my guides, it's kind of like, you know how animals can hear a pitch that we can't hear? It's like the divine masculine heart will hear this pitch in a way that's so shocking and loud for them that it's going to be like a wake-up call to them. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, for some, when I say not a bad thing, it means it's not a bad thing that we're having this wake-up call and that the energy is coming to them, but meaning it's not a bad thing. It might kick up stuff around them. They might create a little tornado in their little world of energy, in their aura. But the reality is that it's not a bad thing. I mean, even if it does kick up shit, that shit needs to go because it doesn't need to be there anymore. So I feel really positive with this. I feel really good with this. I love it. And I love that it's the guide of hearts. Let me see if I could show you the words. Guide of hearts, guardian of hearts. I mean, that's unbelievable to me. Unbelievable. Okay, and let's look at the union energy in general. And I'm actually going to pull some other cards that I don't use with us very often. I'll grab those in a moment. Okay, so when I pull the next card, this is the union. Oh, I like it. It's the fairy godmother. It makes me happy, and it actually brings like tears of joy. I'll show you the card in a moment. But when I look at it, it makes me feel like magic is happening. It's kind of like my last thing when I said love is in the air. Magic is happening. It is happening. It is like we are in our hearts. Both of us, both sides of the twin flame union are in their hearts. I'm telling you, the divine feminine is going more into her heart than her head. Like she's learning, she needs to be more present with herself and her work and her words and her being, and get out of her head, come back into her heart. And that's what the guidance is. That's what, the good witch is doing here, Glinda. She's guiding the feminine to come into her hearts. The divine masculine, he's hearing that siren, that sound from his heart that is only a pitch that his heart can hear. It's being sent to him. It's time to wake up. It's time to listen to your heart, not your head. And then we come to this beautiful, the fairy godmother card, which says the hearts are going to unite. To me, this is when both parties get here and listen here, above all else, above their head, above everything else around them, anything outside of them, when they get here, that's when the magic can happen. And when I look at that, I look at the magic. If you think of the fairy godmother, she made the most amazing things from the simplest thing, pumpkin, the mouse. I mean, that's unbelievable, right? So let's take it one step further. The fairy godmother, our beautiful guides, the galactics and our angels and our loved ones, anybody who's here to assist us on this journey to being united in physical reality, they're here. They're helping us. And their plan is to make sure it happens. So from the simplest things of remembering to be in my heart when I talk to my beloved, remembering to be in my heart when I talk about my beloved, remembering to be in my heart when I interact with anyone on this planet. And for the divine masculine to remember to listen to his heart. Listen to his heart whenever he speaks to me, whenever he speaks to you, whenever he does his job, whenever he does his work. But above all, listen to his heart for himself. Let that be his guide. magic can happen. And to me, this card means magic can happen. And the other thing I saw was this beautiful castle up here in the sky. You see that? I feel like that's our home. That's coming home to each other. So this magic, this wand she's doing is bringing us home. So what we're doing is ultimately bringing us in alignment and bringing us home. I really love these cards. It's just, I don't know. I feel like the love and the magic is here, and we need to like recognize it within us so that we can see it without us as well. All right, so I'm going to pull another card that I'm feeling really guided to do some shuffling the deck. It is the Inner Peace cards. They were by Dr. Wayne Dyer. They were by him. He's passed now, but his stuff was pretty cool. They're Power of Intention cards. So I'm asking for Spirit to give us a great little mantra that we can use for this full moon, because it's going to be a pretty tough one. All right, what do you guys want to show us? What jumps up? This one here. I really like this card. So the message is, the choice is up to you. It can either be good morning, God, or good God morning. Do you see that? So the affirmation that I recommend would be what's on the back of the card. And the back of the card says, I am responsible for the day. I create for myself. Well, isn't this the most appropriate affirmation for this full moon and for this eclipse time? Because if you think about it, I'm telling you that the divine feminine needs to be more in her heart, just meaning she needs to like stop going into her head when she gets into fear. Just coming back into her heart is going to make her okay. And I'm also telling you the divine masculine needs to listen to his heart. But what's so funny about that is the divine masculine typically listens to his head, right? He doesn't go into his heart. That's the typical way. It's the logic. And the divine feminine typically goes into her heart. But when she gets scared, she jumps to her head. And the divine masculine, he goes here. And when he feels elated or happy for the moment, he goes down here, but it's kind of uncomfortable. So he comes right back up. So the whole point is to bring us to the same place in our heart. And so how do we do that? We do that by knowing I am responsible for the day and I create for myself. That's your message for this full moon for the week of February 7th, 2017. And I wouldn't be surprised if I come back. I wouldn't be surprised if I don't come back in the next few days. It depends on how everything goes. It's been a very long day. I've been in high vibe for a few days now, meaning I've been working a lot and I'm tired and I need a little break. So actually tomorrow I have a half day of work and then a half day of fun. Oh boy. And then the next couple of days, I have a lot of work again. So in the meantime, I wish you all well, blessed union, all of you, and namaste.